Hello there, welcome to Talking Balearics after a little week off. It's great to see my compatriot over there in Mallorca, Richie Pryor. How are you, mate?
I'm all right. Well, is this Talking Australia again, is it? Or where are you been?
Well, I am. Well, listen, I am in Australia, Rich, as you probably know. I just thought I'd just escape for a couple of weeks, mate, before the summer really kicks off. So, yeah, I'm here in lovely Aussie, mate. And I couldn't talk to you last week, mate, because you were late. And by the time you messaged me, it was nearly midnight. So I need my beauty sleep, as you know.
Well, of course, those injections only last a certain amount of time, Mark, as you will know, you know.
I know, mate. And they're expensive, Rich, as well. You want to try and spend some money sometime. And by the way, Rich,
no.
You're looking very polished, mate. You've got a shirt on. You look like you've had a shave. Have you got something to tell me? Have you not been down the police station, have you?
Yeah, I've been to court, mate. Yeah.
Another suspended sentence, Rich.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's all good. Anyway, I'm Martin Makepeace. I'm not in Ibiza, but we are talking Balearics, aren't we, Richie?
Yeah, I've had messages from Ibiza, actually. They're not missing you, Mark. Ibiza's working fine without you. Don't worry.
Well, I had a good message from one of my Friday lads the other day. Said you're missing absolutely nothing at the moment. So I'm not sure what it is like over there. But there is plenty in the news to talk about, though, Rich. I've got to tell you.
Yeah, well, the weather's on the rise as well, Mark. Just to let you know, it's beautiful now. It's 20 degrees. It's lovely. It's just turned. I think this is the week that it's turned. Hopefully.
Yeah, I can see from behind you, Rich. It looks great.
Yeah, beautiful. So what you got?
I've got a few things, Rich. I've been furiously blogging because obviously I've had plenty of time over here when you're on holidays. I've been furiously blogging this week. So first of all, I've got some stories. A story about some public-funded housing, which I know is one of our hot topics, isn't it, Rich? So we talk about that regularly. I've got some news about, it's not very sexy, Rich, but it's really important. I know it's a bit like you, Rich, not very sexy, but very important, right?
Thank you.
You're welcome, mate, anytime. About the buses, we've got a new bus contract come through, which is very, is very interesting. And also I've got the Bog blog. Did you read it on Saturday, Rich? I need to talk about the Bog.
Oh, because, I saw it. The golden toilet. I saw, but I don't think I actually read it. Actually, to be honest, I did see it.
Yeah,
and obviously, I haven't been well, Mark. I'll be perfectly honest. Talking of bogs, and I don't really want to talk about it over the week, but I wasn't. Yeah, let's just face it, I wasn't good this weekend.
Okay, mate. Okay, I thought you were looking a bit thinner.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. And just a last one, Rich. The Parador. We'll do a little one on the Parador as well.
Again?
So, yeah, I know. It's the last. Honestly, this is the last time. I promise I'm gonna speak about it. So 4 little items, Rich. What have you got for me this week, buddy?
I too have been blogging. Actually, Mark, I've been blogging about school holidays again.
Oh God, yeah. Rich. Is it a Richie rant time? Is it?
Not really a rant. I've just, I think whatever I've spoken about before is actually coming to fruition.
Oh, right,
okay. To be perfectly honest, so I've got that to talk about.
Well done.
Also, I'm going to talk music, which is something I rarely talk about here in Mallorca, but I think it's worth talking about music here in Mallorca.
And, well, you are a DJ, Rich. I mean, why would you want to talk about music? So
exactly. In fact, remind me when we get to music. I've got a great story to tell you actually of a booking I've received. As a DJ, Mark.
All right, okay.
Yeah, great story.
Life.
Yeah, it's good. And what else have I got for you? Well, football. There's 2 things in football, actually. I mean, I don't really want to talk about the North London derby too much, do I, after yesterday?
Well,
I think it needs to be mentioned.
I saw your constant trolling online today, Rich. I mean, you were on fire, weren't you?
Oh, mate, they don't like me this morning. Dear. They've got no sense of humour, those people up the road from us. But anyway.
Funny that, Rich, isn't it, really?
Yeah. And we'll have a little bit of Mallorca chat for you as well. So what you got?
Good lad. First of all, Rich, let's start with the. Let's have a look. What did I start with there? Let's get the running. So we've got public housing, Rich. It's a hot potato.
Yeah.
As we know, housing situation in Balearics is nigh on terrible, for want of a better word. It's too expensive for people to come and rent. It's too expensive for people to come and buy. And obviously, the youngsters, we've both got teenage kids, haven't we? Well, my oldest is 21 now, so he's not a teenager anymore. My youngest is 18. Yours are 19 and 16, aren't they, mate, if I'm not mistaken? So, we've got kids around about the same age. Very tough for them to get on the ladder, isn't it? I mean, it's okay for your kids because obviously Dad's going to buy him a nice big house, isn't he? So,
of course he is. Yeah, totally.
As it always is.
Be lucky.
But San Antonio, which is my hometown, obviously, they've just announced plans. They've bought a 2,000 meter square plot, not a million miles away from my house, actually, Rich, which I haven't got a problem with, actually, because I think it will be a really good addition to the town. And they are building 18 homes, should I say. When I say homes, I mean apartments, 1 and 2 bedroom units, ground floor, first floor, 2 apartments, adapted for residents with reduced mobility. So they really are ticking boxes here, Rich. And the estimate, exactly. It's good, mate, isn't it? I mean, this is exactly where we need to be going. Mm-hmm. What I actually think they should do, Rich, which I think they do in the UK, which our UK listeners could probably put me right, is when they issue new licenses now, they should have a certain amount of units in those blocks for public housing. Yeah, or assisted housing. That's what I think they should do. Whether it be 10% or 20%, we can argue about that later. But this is going to cost San Antonio 3.2 million, Rich, for 18 homes. And the criteria is you have to have been a resident for 5 years. Okay. Now, that does put a few alarm bells, I've got to tell you, Rich, because how many people will be applying for those 18 houses, do you think?
Probably half the population.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be 1,000, isn't there, at least? So I'd like to see the qualification process, Rich. I think it might be...
not what you know, who you know.
I think it might be based on surnames, this one, Rich, I've got to tell you. But anyway, all joking aside, it's a really step in the right direction. 18 houses, 18 apartments being built for people who can't, assisted housing, basically, Rich. So I don't know the ins and outs of what they're going to rent for or what they're going to be put on the market for. But at the end of the day, it looks like it's a step in the right direction.
So listen, a subject I've been banging on about, like the tourist tax and God knows what else we've been banging on about. Is
Rich, I like listening to your rants, Rich. I mean, I like listening to Richie rant.
School holidays, and back in, well, you need to go back quite a long way, actually. 2012, the then Conservative stroke Liberal Democrat coalition decided in their wisdom, or Michael Gove did, who was the Education Secretary at the time, that children weren't allowed outside or go on holiday outside of school terms, basically, or in school terms, I should say. And her parents were fined for obviously taking their children out in school terms, as we all know. Tour operators, hoteliers, airlines, etc., all put their prices up when the peak times come. So that's Easter, Whitsun, July, August, and October half term, and Christmas, of course, as well. Is when those prices do go up. So what happened was, obviously, we create a situation where parents have to decide whether they can afford to take the fine or basically spend a whole load of more money to take their children on holiday. I personally think it's a terrible rule. It's been in law, as I say, since 2012. And figures out, the last figures out for last year, the fines for term time holidays reached a record high of just under 500,000 last year, as parents accepted penalty to snap up cheaper deals. New figures from the Department of Education show the number of fines rose by 4% in 24-25 compared to the previous year. Term time holiday fines accounted for 93% of all fines issued. Now, if you don't already know, you get fined £80 for every child who misses school. If you pay it within 21 days, it's £80. It goes up to 160 if you pay it after the 21 days. But if you take that 18, say you've got 2 kids, it's 160 quid. It's nothing compared to the price that you'll have to pay for a holiday in July and August, to be perfectly honest, or any break time, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I've gone away at Christmas time, and you know, you're going to pay double, sometimes triple, even quadruple the price that you would normally pay to go away, because obviously they've got them, got them by the short and curlers, as we say. So in reality, it's not actually helping. It's obviously people are just taking that risk. And they did put the fine up. The fine went up last year from £60 to £80. Still has
it's nothing. It's nothing though, Rich. Is it 80 quid? I mean, what's that? I mean, how much are you going to save on a summer holiday? What? £1,000, you'll probably say.
Yeah,
at least,
if not more, mate. If not more. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I go back to when I first did. You'll be the same. When I first came to Mallorca in 1990, families were here for the whole of the summer. They, from May until the end of October, families came on holiday, and I thought it was, I didn't think it was a problem. Kids of 2012, is there a big sort of, going back on time and looking at those kids? Were they affected by the fact that they weren't in school for a week or two? I don't think so. Basically, I personally think that it should be the kids and it should be the school or the head teacher or whoever the teachers to decide whether the child should be able to go on holiday. If they're behind in their schoolwork or if they're struggling at school, then maybe they shouldn't be allowed. But if they're a pupil that's attendance record is very high, the results they're getting in their exams or their pre-exams is good. Why is a week away or 2 weeks away bad for them? Do you know what I mean? I just don't get to see a new country, get to see a new culture, taste new cuisine, etc., etc., etc. It's not bad for the child, I don't think.
So, Richard, can I ask you a question? Has anything changed then, or is this just a Richie rant?
No, this is. I'm just giving you the figures that actually the actual law itself is not working. The law is an ass, as we say, Mark.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
it's not fit for purpose, is it? I mean, and also, I just think it creates a bit of a them and us situation as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, but if you turn it on its head, Martin, as I say, I like to look at things glass half full half the time. Then I'm sure the tour operators, the airlines, the hotels would look at it and listen, we'd love to the people to travel outside those periods where the holidays aren't good. Then obviously the government would get more tax out of those people, those holidays, and et cetera, and then on the opposite side, the holiday destinations, and let's take the Balearics as a whole. When we look at the sustainability part of holidays, then what a great thing that would be. Do you know what I mean? More people traveling across the year rather than just pushed into July and August, let's say. And also from an employment point of view, once again, all good. Do you know what I mean? Because hopefully establishments can stay open a bit longer and keep their employees working.
I mean, I'm not on that, which me and you probably differ a little bit on this, and I'm not here to. And I respect that you feel very, very strongly about this because you are passionate about this subject. I mean, I'm not. I believe you should play by the rules. If you're not allowed, I don't agree with the rules, Rich. But if you're not allowed to take them out, then I think child's education is much more important than anything else. And I think some people do and some people don't. But what's actually changed is the dynamic change now. That Rich is something going to be happening, shifting in a direction that they can take people out, or is it just the fact that
no dynamics change? The dynamic change. It went up from 60 to 80 quid. The dynamic. All they're basically saying is that the fines that were handed out were up 4% year on year. So by changing the price or giving the fine even larger, it hasn't made any difference whatsoever. And so where do you take it? You know what I mean? It's just going to get grow and grow and grow, or just someone actually take the ball by the horns and go, tell you what, this is not working. Let's try something else, shall we?
When I was skiing a couple of weeks ago I went to France skiing, and I was in a lift, and I saw a family were there, and I noticed the accent wasn't a million miles away from mine. So I said, "Oh, hi, how are you?" And I said, "Is it school holidays?" Tongue in cheek, and they both looked at me, winked, and went, "No, the kids aren't well this week."
Brilliant. Well, there you go.
The kids were sitting next to me in their skiing
gear. Mark.
Yeah. No, so I mean, again, it just creates. I don't like it because I think. I used to be taken out of school regularly to go on holiday, Rich, because my dad.
There was me thinking you were taken out of school regularly because you were rubbish. Or
no.
Or you was in trouble.
Head boy, obviously.
Of
course, mate. Pupil governors it was in those days. But I remember the teacher kind of tutting at me and me going, well, actually, I'm not being funny, but there's no work on this week, and I think a week with my old man in Portugal will be a little bit more testing than a week at school. So I do see both sides of it, Rich. I mean, it's, as I said, I'm not a massive lover of it. I don't think you can have, you get free education. So if you're getting free education, why would you want to take your kids out of school? But listen, I do understand your rant, mate. And I'm not a million miles away, put it that way, Rich.
Thank you.
Right now, one thing that Mallorca's got, that does really well that Ibiza hasn't. There you go. You can list them, can't you? So
electricity, running water.
Yes, go on. That's it. You're not a million miles away, Rich. No, I tell you what you've got, which we haven't, is a really good public transport system. That's what you've got in Mallorca. Every time I come over to you, I'm always bowled away that the buses are great, the trains are great. You know, it's a really good system. You probably don't appreciate it, Rich, because you live there. But when you live on an island with Ibiza, I mean, I remember having a chat with the mayor of San Antonio, and I asked him in a public meeting. I said, "What do you think of the public transport in Ibiza?" And he went, I think his exact words was terrible or horrendous or something like that. I can't remember, but you know, it's been well known that the bus service in Ibiza is terrible, Rich. It really is. However, there is some big news, and as I said, it's not a particularly sexy subject, Rich, but it's a subject that's really important because it's the mechanics of the island, and we do live and work on a tourist island, and you know, we constantly moan about traffic all the time, don't we? You know, it's one of our specialist whinge-a-thons on this podcast. But ALSA, I presume you've got ALSA over there, you Rich, as well in Mallorca, which is the national bus operator, or one of the big boys anyway. They've just signed a 10-year deal with Ibiza. It's taken a while to actually get the green light on it, as it always does. But the numbers are pretty good, Rich, actually. We've got 100 new buses coming to the island. 64 are going to be electric, 3 are going to be hybrid, and the rest are going to be state-of-the-art diesel. Now, for an island that bangs on about sustainability, that's not a bad shout, really, because I think sometimes we say one thing and do the other thing. But to say that that's a step in the right direction. And this is the big one, Rich. It's tap on and tap off. There you go, tap on and tap off. Which, if you obviously you probably don't understand this, Rich, but you go on, you put your credit card on the machine, you tap it on, and when you come off, you tap it off. So no more cash only, or no more tutting because you haven't got the right change. And also, there's going to be an app as well where you can follow the buses and look to see where the buses are. So this is full 21st century treatment, Rich, and it's long overdue. It really is, because, as I said, our bus system in Ibiza has been hideous, terrible, woeful, all the adjectives you want to use for the last, I don't know, 25, 30 years. And it really does need updating, because we need to get people out of cars and into public transport, out of taxis into buses. So fingers crossed, this is a step in the right direction.
And to my right, Sam, I mean, it applies here. I imagine it probably applies in Ibiza. You get free public transport, do you, in Ibiza?
Yeah, we do. As residents, you do. Yeah, but you have to go in. You have to go into the Conseil in Ibiza town and get a card. So obviously, same. I've not bothered doing that yet, Rich, because it's obviously too much trouble. But no, it's really good. It was under 18s, I believe, and then it was stretched out to all residents, and I think that's going to be for another year as well yet. So it's not forever, and I think it's a political hot potato, but it's really good. So I mean, the fact that we're going to get a fully functioning bus service, well, that's what they say. Let's wait and see. But they're even going to have USB chargers on it, Rich, and
wow.
So this is big news for the people who like public transport. But joking aside, for the traffic chaos, the air quality, the worker mobility, the tourist experience, which, let's face it, they're our number one commodity, and for the daily sanity of everybody who uses the service, I think it's a real welcome to the island of Ibiza for a decent bus service.
Good. Now, when you mention Mallorca and music together, it's not really something that we would talk about greatly here in Mallorca. Obviously, in Ibiza, it's massive, but in Mallorca, not so. But I think we should mention Mallorca Live, which is a thing that's been around for quite a long time here. It's a big event that normally takes place in either May or June. It's a big open air event, and it happens just down the road from me, actually. In fact, when it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, I can still hear it. To be honest, it's that loud.
Are you ringing the local council and complaining, are you, Rich?
I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those. I think it's great. It brings people to the island. You know what I mean? It's the young people being able to see concerts or bands or singers they wouldn't normally be able to see. I think it's a good thing. So this year it's on June the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th as well. Now we've mentioned already that the Prodigy and Cypress Hill are playing. I think that's on the Friday, and then The Libertines are playing as well on the Saturday. We've mentioned also that Guetta is doing the closing party, which I think is huge.
Yeah, big.
Which is huge for the island. Even though obviously we know who and how David Guetta plays. Let's not go into that in great detail. And but I think this was announced last week, and I think this is a bit of a game changer even for me because I've never been to a Mallorca Live. I've heard it obviously because normally I've been working, so I've heard it and everything else. But they just announced that the Kaiser Chiefs will be playing this year on Saturday night, and love the Kaiser Chiefs. I mean, I saw them at Mallorca Rocks many moons ago, and for those of you not attuned to what they do, obviously Ruby is one of their massive hits, and I Predict a Riot is another one. They're Sheffield. I think they're Sheffield boys. I'm not sure.
I think they are richer than Northern lads. Now, would it be right to say for me to say that lineup is attracting a certain age group, isn't it?
Well, you could say that. Yeah. Well, look at you.
I think
you're put me into that category.
No, well, I'm talking about us, mate. Really, because
exactly.
I think our kids will be scratching their head for that lineup. I mean, Cypress Hill hasn't had a hit for about 30 years, but I mean, Insane in the Membrane is a classic. But I mean, I don't think anyone under the age of 50 is going to remember that one. And the Libertines haven't had a hit for 25 years, and obviously the Prodigy, they're old school. They're a 90s band, so it's definitely going to attract a middle-aged.
You should know also. You should also know that they do a lot of Spanish acts as like DJs and bands and singers as well as mixed in with them, because obviously what they're trying to do is mix the whole crowd. So it's not just a whole Spanish-based crowd or a whole British or German-based crowd as well. It's a big mix. It's a big mix of artists that goes on throughout the day. It goes, you know what I mean? It goes on all through the day. And they've got two or three different stages as well. Leeds, they're from Leeds. They're not from Sheffield. The Kaiser Chiefs, they're from Leeds. So that's why Leeds.
I saw Ibiza Rocks as well back in the day, and they were fantastic. In fact, I think if I'm not mistaken, he climbed up the balcony and jumped into the pool, which was chaos. And me and my nephew were standing next door to it, and it all went off there. So I mean, it sounds going to be great. I mean, what's the venue, Rich? How many people can it hold?
I think it's around about 5,000. I could be wrong. I'm not sure, but I think it's around about 5,000. Ricky Wilson is the lead singer of the Kaiser Chiefs. And when we say Leeds, of course, this is why they play I Predict a Riot at the end of every Leeds game. If you ever watch Leeds play on TV, you would see that. And
don't forget, Luke Humphries uses it for his walk on as well, Rich, because he's a big Leeds United fan for the darts. So
okay.
Yeah, it's all Leeds, isn't it? So dirty Leeds, should we say?
Yeah, yes, exactly. So it's around about. It says. I've just looked it up now. Attendance has grown significantly. Over the course of the 3 days, it's between 65 and 70,000 people this end. So 5,000. I'm completely wrong. Venue site apparently is 25,000 square meters. It says here. So you're looking about. It says approximately 25,000 people per day. Is
it some Fooster it's in, Rich?
No. It's literally the old water park, Mike. If you remember the just down the road from where Pirates is the two. They were the two water parks, Agua Park or Agua Land, whatever it was called before. That's where it's held. It's held on the car park there, and inside in the old, which was the old water park.
Have they closed down the water parks then, Rich?
No, that park has been closed for years. Actually, the Western Park opposite is still open, and Aqualand over in Arundel is still open as well. But that particular park closed a long time ago.
Do you think Mallorca Lime's going to attract new people onto the island, or people maybe that don't usually come to Mallorca?
Yeah,
or is it going to add to what Mallorca already does anyway?
I think it's definitely going to bring people in. Particularly obviously because you look at the dates in June. You know what I mean? It's sort of between. We all know that June to September is obviously when most people do like to travel. I think it will bring people in from the outside without a doubt. And listen, I know these guys get government funding as well to bring these bands in because David Guetta's not going to come cheap. Let's just put it like that.
No, it's not, man. He'll be $100,000 straight away, Rich. But he will put bums on seats. I mean, as we know, we might not like what he does. Maybe old school DJs might bristle a little bit, but he's a crowd pleaser, isn't he? And I went to see him last year in Ushuaia for the first time. ever, actually. I've seen him many a times in different clubs, but and I've got to tell you, he was absolutely fantastic. So expect some fireworks literally there. And Rich, just can you remind me of the dates again, mate? Because I might even come over that for myself.
June 12th, 13th and 14th.
Perfect. All right, mate. So just before the World Cup then, Rich, that?
Oh, yeah. Are you not going away again, are you then?
I might just go over.
He's thinking about it.
He might, yeah, I know. Now, Rich, I blogged about it on Saturday, but I got a lot of feedback. It wasn't very well read, but it got a lot of comments. So it obviously kind of got a bit of traction with the locals. So if you didn't see San Antonio, again, my hometown, on the front there, it's called the Paseo de Fuentes, or where the fountains are, should I say. And they've put a loo there, a bog, a public convenience, should we say, public toilet.
Okay.
And it looks very smart. They've put it in, they've craned it in, and then they published the details. And how much do you reckon it'll cost for one public toilet, Rich?
What, to use or just to put it in?
No, just to put. Well, I mean, I think it's free to use, although it might not be a bad shout charging €1 a go. But how much do you reckon? One public toilet?
I don't know, €1 million.
No, well, not quite, Rich. €100,000 to put one public toilet in, right? I don't think they've craned it in, Rich. So they haven't built it; they've craned it in. Right. So it's like a bit like a pod or something like that. They've craned it in. So and on my local residents group, let's just say they weren't very impressive. €100,000 has been spent on a public convenience. So it's polarised it, but I've got to say, Rich, I haven't got a problem with it. I think it's a good idea. And as you know, and as I know very well, that, civil construction in the Balearics doesn't come cheap, Rich, does it? I think, anywhere else in the world, they'll knock it up for a tenner. In Ibiza, it tends to cost a little bit more. So it's been.
Can we say that the government are flushed right now, or not?
I think they're taking the pee with that price.
Oh, very good, very good. Yes.
Yeah. No shit, Sherlock. So,
yes.
So I think it's a good addition. It has split opinion because also, let's face it, who's it going to be used by in the summer? I think it might be. It might be kind of taken over by the lucky lookies. It could be used for several things. So will they keep it clean? They reckon it's self-cleaning, but I'd like to see that, Rich. It's all self-clean, isn't it? So, the public toilet, 100 grand, split people down the middle, but I think it's a move in the right direction. And just before I'm going to hand over, because I know you want to talk football, the Parador is open, Rich. It's open.
Oh, it's open.
It's opened.
Yeah. Have you not had an official invite yet?
Well, I think it must have got lost into my junk email because they knew that I was away. But the interesting thing they've said about it, Rich, €47 million it's cost. It's taken 17 years to open. And what they've actually said, Vicente Marie, who's the president of the Island Council, said he wants it as a place for locals to gather and enjoy themselves as well. So I'm not sure how they're going to mesh those two together, where you've got 4-star tourists, and people who love the culture, and you've got all the regulars, all the local regulars down there passing through. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. But it's open, Rich, and it's a step in the right direction. So at the end of the day, well done to everybody. Parador Ibiza, the only one in the Balearics as well, which we keep reminding everybody. There's none in Mallorca, there's none in Formentera, there's none in Menorca, and there's none in Cabrera. So the only one in the Balearics, and we're very proud of that.
Now, I don't know if I've mentioned already that Arsenal beat the other team from North London yesterday in a 4-1 derby. Did I mention it already?
No, I think it was a 1 a.m. kickoff over here in Australia, mate. So I missed it, but I watched the highlights this morning. It was too easy for you guys, wasn't it? Too easy.
Well, I've had breaking news actually that's just been released. I've just seen this actually. Haringey Council have confirmed that the other team of North London's fire safety certificate has been renewed for another 12 months after observing the perfect and prompt evacuation of their stadium in the 81st minute of yesterday's game.
You're relentless, mate, aren't you? You're relentless.
Oh,
have you put the? By the way, the Arsenal bus. Have you put the wheels back on? Have you wound the nuts on?
Those wheels have never come off, in my opinion, mate.
Right,
they're still there. They're still there.
Long way to go, Richie. Long way.
It's the end of February. We're still there. We're still in it, Mark. We're still there fighting.
Well, you're 5 points ahead with a game where you played a game more. So let's face it, it's yours to lose.
And to play City, yes. Still got
well,
to play
that would be a very interesting game, wouldn't it? Very interesting as well.
Well, I think what might be interesting about that, Mark, is that we could actually be playing each other 4 times if you think about it. We're sort of down to, I think, to draw each other sometime in the Champions League. We obviously play each other in the Carabao Cup final, and we're still both in the FA Cup as well right now. So
wow, could be 5 times. It could be 5 times then, Rich. In that case, okay. Yeah. Any Mallorca news?
Yeah, listen, I'm fed up with this. Listen, what you need to ask me is, were Mallorca at home or away this week? Because if they're away, they've got beat, and if they got home, they've won.
Where were they?
Away.
How did you get on?
Lost 2-0. Rubbish. Utter rubbish. We played for a draw, and we obviously couldn't even get that. So,
are you bottom? Are you bottom 5 now? Aren't you?
Look, there's still hope here. Do you know what I mean? There is still hope. We are bottom 3. We are on 24 points. We are 1 point behind the team above us, which is Ellenger. 2 points above. 2 points below. 3 other teams, on 26 points. I think it probably goes to them, possibly a couple more above them. We've just got to win our home games because we've won 1 game away all season.
It's ridiculous.
Solitary game. It's ridiculous. And of that, we've only won 5 at home, to be perfectly honest. So, but we've got teams in and around us. We've still got to play Oviedo at home, Levante at home with the 2 teams below us. We've got Elche to come, I think, and Valencia still to come. So we've still got teams around us. We can do it, but God, it's going to be squeaky bum time, as they call it.
I think it's going to go down to the wire. Just imagine if you go down this year, Rich, and Udi Ibiza go up. Imagine that's going to be a massive derby next year, isn't it? I mean, I don't think Ibiza will go up, to be honest, because
I think they're quite lowly, aren't they?
It's a little bit like La Liga. There's probably 5 or 6 points between playoff and mid-table, so it could happen, Rich. But I mean, we always say it. I don't want to see Mallorca get relegated at all because we need a Balearic team in the top tier, don't we? We really do.
Just as I don't know if I'm surprised you've not said it already, but your local team, Port Maine, beat San Francisco at the weekend.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that 2-1. Yeah, I just saw that on mine as well. So yeah, no, listen, there's no gloating from my part, Rich. You know that. I'll leave that to the Arsenal fans. By the way, who's the only team in England not to have won a home game this year? Do you know?
The only team in England not to win
in the Premier League not to have won a home game so far. So not to have won a league game this year, by the way. 2026.
Tottenham.
It's the other team from North London, as you know, mate.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You should enjoy the moment, Rich. It might not last forever.
Well, yes, we can live and we hope, Mark. You never know.
Just a quick one, Rich. Next week can we record the podcast at a decent time again, or are you going to go missing? Just out of interest.
I'm the one who's on a normal time. It's you that's gallivanting around the world. It's not me, is it? Do you know what I mean? Are you going to be back? Are you going to be back next week, or where
7
are you?
hours ahead? I've got to say, I was in Rottnest Island this weekend, Rich. Just a quick one. Rottnest is an island off the west coast of Australia. Beautiful, very similar to Formentera, but it's a little bit more accessible than Formentera, should I say. I was on right up kind of up the north of the island. It's not a very big island, and met 2 chaps. And where are you from? They were from Inca, believe it or not, in Mallorca.
Really? No way.
Yeah. So just give a big shout out to Carlos and Sebastian from Mallorca that I met in Rottnest Island last week, because they promised that they would listen this week as well. So great to meet Mallorquins Mallorquins get everywhere, Rich, don't they? They're like
they do, actually. That's true.
They're like mud between the toes on the beach, aren't they? They really are.
That's a compliment, just so you know.
Kind of, Rich. Listen,
yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Great to speak to you, mate, as always.
And you, mate. Take care.
And you, buddy. I'll see you next week.
See you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.